You've got a judgment against you. First of all, let me explain what a judgment is. A judgment is a determination by a court that you owe money and that you have to pay it back. And the judgment can then be used to garnish your wages, to freeze your bank accounts, to go after any property you may own, any property in which you have an interest. Okay? And the ability to collect on a judgment lasts up to 20 years. So when you get a judgment against you, this is a very serious matter. And a lot of times you won't recognize the name of the company that got the judgment against you. Even if you've got a judgment against you, even if the collector and the creditor followed every rule and the judgment is 100% kosher, there are still rules about the ways in which you can attempt to collect on the judgment. You can't threaten things you can't legally do. You can't threaten to take actions you don't intend to take. You can't threaten to send someone to prison for failing to pay on a judgment. It's not a crime to get into trouble financially 99% of the time. So you can't make these kinds of threats. So even if the judgment is 100% kosher, the rules still have to be followed. You never know whether or not the company that got the judgment against you had the right, whether they've got the correct amounts, whether the alleged debt has changed hands 2, 3, 4 times, whether they've credited you for everything that you've paid, whether they had the right to charge the late fees, whether they had the right to charge the interest. You've got to see what you can do about that judgment. Otherwise, it's going to be out there for 20 years and you've got to do something about it. Come to an experienced lawyer like me and let's see what we can do together.